computer and go live. Hi everyone. As a part of our international workshops, which have been going on for the last 3-4 months, we today have Eric Cheshire from Connected Platforms. Welcome, Eric, to the show.
Thanks, Ash.
Eric, I see from your profile that you started your business or your entrepreneur journey from a very young age. I think right after your school. Is that right? Can you let our viewers know about that journey, please?
Yeah, I started after high school. I started fixing computers for friends and family, and sort of after school, and that I'd go fix a couple of computers, and I think I was getting $10 an hour for it, and it sort of evolved. After that, after my shifts there, I'd go and fix some more computers, and it just kept expanding, growing from word of mouth from there. And then when my kids were born, I decided to have a go at it full time, and started Top Cat Computers from there. And that was back in 2014.
Okay, and I know that you have twins, right? A boy and a girl.
Yeah.
How old are they?
Yeah, they're
How old are they?
Years old now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, coming to your company, which is Connected Platforms. It's a managed services company. You do everything under that managed services sun. In terms of your services, what are your core offerings?
Yeah, our core offering is a managed service. We call it like technology success. So looking after being an outsourced IT department for our clients. So more on the prevention to fixing.
I missed you in between. Sorry, your voice is cracking in between. So can you repeat that, please, for our viewers?
It's working really well for us. Where we're doing a lot of proactive work. We call it technology alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Behind the scenes, stop people having these issues. A lot of IT companies will be there to they put out fires. We'd rather not be putting out the fires. We'd rather be preventing them from happening in the first place.
Okay, so it's not a reactive model. It's more of a proactive model to stop networks being compromised.
We've got backups in place and things like that, but if you don't have to use them, it's a much better option in the first place. There's no disruption to staff, and the staff can just get on with their work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. So in terms of hardware, I noticed that you do provide some hardware support too. Now, is there any particular brand or vendor who you work with?
Yeah, we mainly work with HP for hardware. We found it quite reliable. There's a couple of different models of desktops and laptops, and through our sort of account management with clients, regular meetings, we help them replace their hardware before it fails. So,
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
we found HP to be really reliable.
So in this COVID time, if an entrepreneur wants to start up a new business and wants to start up an office, and if they come to you to Connected Platforms to help them set up an office, so can you help them from start to end in setting that office up for them?
Yeah. We like to come in before they even set up anything. So get in once they've got their domain name or their business name. We'll help them register, get the emails set up.
Mm-hmm.
them to help them with the introduction with you and the website designs and things like that. But right from the beginning, phone systems, emails, computers, servers if needed, cloud storage, all from the get-go, and then training their staff on what to do and what to use is another big thing we do, and what not to click on.
Okay. So how has your business been in this COVID time for the last 8 months? I'm assuming that being in IT, like our company, we have kind of had a huge backlog of work coming to us, which clients who didn't want to do a website or a mobile app in the past, they have come back to us in March, April, and they have given the go ahead to do the work. Now, has it been the same for you, or has it been any different for you? Eric, are you there?
Yeah, I'm
I
just going to try to connect to a different connection.
Yeah, because your voice is cracking in between. Sorry for that, but I didn't hear, so I don't know if you heard my question or not.
No, I think we can put
Okay.
that down to the really good NBN connection I have out here.
Well, if it's
So,
NBN, then it has to be very good.
yeah, I'm just trying to connect to my, and we might have better luck on
That's
that.
okay. I think while you do that, I will repeat my question for you, and since you can hear me now.
Yeah.
So what I was asking you
Yeah.
about is in the last 8 months or 7 months, since this COVID thing has happened, now has your business grown or has it been on the same level? What has the reaction of your clients been?
Yeah. Initially, we had a couple of months where we had a huge, well, the first month we had a huge influx of getting people set up to work from home. Then it died off and was really quiet for a month or so. And then it's just been getting busier every month from there.
Okay.
New clients coming on, new hardware installs, big projects. Just, yeah, we're going to be busy well into next month delivering that new hardware and setups.
Okay. In terms of, means again, IT as a technology, you have different ways of selling. Now, if you are selling an IT product, you have a very different way of selling an IT product. If you're selling an IT service, there's a very completely different way of selling a service. But for you as a managed services, is there any particular way of selling managed services to your end clients? Is it hard? Does it take more time? How is the process for you?
Yeah, the process can vary. It sometimes we might know someone, a prospect, and then everything's churning along okay until something bad happens, and then their current provider lets them down. Often that's a very quick changeover.
Yep.
A lot of the time it takes time because everything might be running okay. It's only when things go bad that they might realize that their current provider might not have their back. So sometimes it can take 6 months to get someone along with us. Sometimes it takes 2 days.
And any particular marketing technique which you use for your business to grow, or is it more of a word of mouth as of now?
And since I started it in the last 3 years, it's been 95% word of mouth from just clients talking to other clients.
Okay.
And growing that way. They must like what we do and just keep telling their friends. And they're normally an easy. Once they get to talking to us, they want to come across and then they're happy.
Perfect. I think clients being happy kind of helps us in the next sales cycle, because when you go for that word of mouth kind of a clientele, you don't have to go through the entire sales cycle. It might be just a phone call from one person to the other and you are through. So it is a really powerful networking tool, which people hardly use though. But again, there are businesses who just have grown from that model.
yeah, we're starting to branch out into some other marketing efforts now with Google AdWords and some lead generation that way. Down the track, we're looking to Facebook and things like that. But yeah, word of mouth is by far the best.
Yeah, I think social media is going to be means it is a game changer for a lot of businesses. I've seen clients whose business has grown 300% using social media techniques. Obviously, their website
Yeah,
and the Google AdWords and the keywords have to be in place for them to go to that
yeah,
next level. But again, that has kind of changed the whole landscape of offline marketing. As an example, putting up ads in newspapers or pamphlets or flyers, those days are gone. Means people still do it. Don't get me wrong on that, but I think it is a
yeah.
completely different world now.
Yeah, it's a digital world where there's that unknown. You need someone, you need an expert in there to do
Absolutely.
it for you. I could probably spend hours trying to figure out myself, but I don't have the time, and even then it would be a substandard result if I tried to market myself.
Yeah, I completely agree on that. So coming to the security aspect of your services. So what exactly do you do in security? If I take security as a buzzword, what can you do for your end
Yeah.
clients?
So all our end clients are standardized. A lot of IT companies or a lot of companies will just put on an antivirus and think that they're secure and they're protected. Everything's all good. The way we approach it is a layered approach to security.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have an antivirus service that's backed by like a security operations center who's constantly monitoring it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you would have a firewall in place with things like a web filter on that. You'd have email spam filters that are third party to like Office 365 or G Suite.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have also a couple other pieces of software on the computer to look for footholds for hackers. Backed by all of that is a standardization on everything
Mm-hmm.
and the process of how we do it all, end user training. It all works together to provide the best option we can for the client.
Okay. So for your clients, again, that takes me to another question of mine, which is how do you handle the SLAs and SOPs for your end clients? Is there a defined process within the organization?
Yeah, so we have a dispatcher in the office. His name's Chris. He monitors all incoming support requests
Mm-hmm.
and he'll categorize them depending on the level of severity. Like if it's a new user starting somewhere and they're not starting for a week or so,
Mm-hmm.
they'll put that as a low priority
Mm-hmm.
and they'll get that sorted in well before the person starts. If the whole company's down, it's basically all hands on deck. They drop everything, they get them going again, and then they go back to their tasks. They just, triage the tickets accordingly to the seriousness and how many people are affected.
Okay. That's a good way of looking at it. Means again, I assume that your virtual CIO, which is again a service from your end for companies who can't afford a CIO in a full-time role. So
Yeah.
do you give that as a service too? I assume that, right?
Yeah, all clients get that. I do that part of the role
Mm-hmm.
where we meet with clients every quarter. We work through their business goals. We look at what technology needs to be replaced before it fails. We look at how they're doing things in general, and we might make recommendations on how they might be able to do this more efficiently or save some money here or get some better protection there. Looking at things like Microsoft Teams, all sorts of different ways they can do things.
Mm-hmm.
Just get to know their business.
Okay, interesting. And how much of your time does go for this virtual CIO roles with your end clients? How much time do you spend on that?
Yeah. So that's majority of my role.
Okay.
So we would do that every quarter, and they could be an hour to 2 hours with every client every quarter, but it's also as needed. So if a client's got a special project on or something like that, I might be meeting with them every week for 6 months to get that project done and fully implemented. That could be a website, that could be an office move, it could be anything like that.
And you did mention while you were starting to discuss about your service, you mentioned about the phone systems. Now, I'm assuming it's
Yeah,
a virtual phone system. Is that right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
what?
We use a platform called 3CX.
Okay.
It's hosted in the cloud. It has normal office phones in an office, but it also has a mobile app that works really well.
Hmm.
Um, we've got quite a lot of clients using that now. It gives
Okay.
us some redundancy. If there's a power outage or whatnot, they can switch over to the mobile app and still take their calls and still operate business as normal.
Okay. Interesting.
It's a
And
very affordable
is it
system.
is it affordable? I was coming to that. How means again
Yeah, yeah,
for an end customer as a layman user, if I'm a businessman, if I want to install this phone service per user, what will it cost me as a very high level
yeah.
number?
It varies. Um, Normally, it costs you a couple $100 a month,
Okay.
and each handset you might pay $200 to $300 depending on the handset you want.
Okay.
Um, so if you've got two handsets, it might cost you $600 and a couple $100 a month for unlimited calls and things like that. And then that's scalable up to our biggest clients got that probably in 5 or 6 sites around Australia with
Hmm.
probably 30 or 40 handsets,
Ah,
right down
okay.
to people with one handset.
Okay. And any particular strategy on the disaster recovery or business continuity? What do you how do you handle that?
Yeah, so we have a disaster recovery plan for all clients that's
Okay.
tailored to suit their business. You know, what's most important? Is it MyOb? Is it the phones? Whichever it needs to be. And we have a contingencies in place. For example, someone with a server might have a data device, which is
Hmm.
a backup and disaster recovery box.
Hmm.
What it does, if the server falls over or gets stolen or whatever might happen,
Hmm.
this box acts as a server and we can switch them over to running on that. Normally takes about 20 minutes and they're back up and running again while we fix the server. If
Okay.
the whole place burns down, we can host it in the cloud or host it in our office and keep them running while we figure out what to do from there, follow the plan.
Okay. Uh, so, and do you use cloud-based technologies like AWS or Google Cloud Platform? What do you use? What is your preferred?
Yeah, we use AWS
Okay.
mainly for phone systems and Microsoft's 365
Ah, okay.
back in for everything else.
Hmm. And would you like to tell our viewers who are looking at it and who might want to get in touch with you, you offer a free IT health check. What exactly is that? Would you
Yeah.
like to elaborate on that?
Yeah. So what we found is a lot of people, they don't know there's an issue until it's too late.
Hmm.
So we thought we'd offer a free service where we go out, we have a look at their infrastructure, just check over a few things. We don't make any changes or anything like that. We
Hmm.
ask them a lot of questions about their business, how it's running, what are their line of business applications,
Hmm.
you know, what happens if certain things stops working, all that sort of stuff. We look at the age of their hardware, internet connections, security,
Hmm.
disaster recovery plans, and then we provide a recommendation on, you know, things they should change, how we would do how we would run their IT systems, and we put it all in a report. So if they are happy with their vendor, and they can take that report to them and ask them to implement some of those changes. If they're not, they're welcome to come and we can talk further with them. But we
Hmm.
give that to them free of charge, and they can really do whatever they want with that report. So, yeah.
So if a small business wants to have that done, they can just contact you through your website, which is connectedplatforms.com.au, and fill up the form and get in touch with you to get that started, right?
Yeah, and we'll come out, no obligation, have a
Okay.
look at everything for them, and it takes about an hour or two. Um, and we'll just book it in at a time that suits them.
Hmm. Good. Thanks a ton for sharing that. I think a lot of people
Yeah,
might want to use that if somebody is hearing this, and while we are sharing it across the networks, I hope people are listening to it and they will want to take this offer. Uh, Worst come worst,
yeah,
they will get an audit report from you, and then they
yeah.
can
And they
work on
can,
that.
yeah, they can give it to their IT guy and ask for the extra services from them. It doesn't worry us. At
Right.
least they know where the holes are in their systems.
Hmm. And if I may ask you, how big is your team spread? Is it Brisbane based or is it
Yeah,
other parts of Queensland too?
yeah. So our business is, we're all based in Brisbane. We have an admin person in Sydney,
Hmm.
and there's 10 of us in total. But yeah, mainly based out of the head office in Fortitude Valley.
Okay, good, good place to be in, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. We've
I
got a good
wanted to
spot there.
I wanted to ask you something about your sales cycle. Means again, that's something which is very dear to me, and I kind of want to learn more from people like you who are in the business and business from a young age. Uh, Means $10 for per PC setup and rectifying, resolving a issue on a PC, which is great thing to start if you're just come out of school. So hats off to you on that. I wanted to ask you, are there any specific techniques or practices which you as a businessman have used in your sales slash operational cycle in which you have wowed the client? So client would have said, hey, because Eric, you did this, I would not leave you for next 10 years. Is there something
Yeah.
specific to
Um,
your part of business or business in general as an example?
it's probably the team in general. My team is very good. I call them, they're nerds, but they can talk to people like normal people. So they've all got hobbies and interests. They can hold a conversation. There's a lot of techs out there that can't talk to people. They just want to get in and get the job done. But my guys will have a chat. They get to know our clients. That's what makes everything. That's what the clients see. The technology's behind it, but the clients don't really see that. They see who's looking after it, and that's everything.
And I think it all will start from a trust factor, because if you trust somebody
Yeah,
with your life and with your IT as a business, I think any issue they face, they will come back to you. So it is developing the trust and relationship with your end clients.
yeah. And getting to know them and looking after them, caring.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, again, these are
yeah,
so simple a word. Means caring, trust, relationship, that we take it for granted. But I think these are very key elements of any business or any relationship for that
yeah.
matter.
Yeah, we can't look after someone's IT if we don't care about their business.
Absolutely.
We have to have their best interests at heart.
Mm.
Um, and if we do that, we'll succeed. But if we keep them the focus on them, everything will go well.
And in terms of personal development, it could be you or it could be your staff. Now, is there anything specific which you ask them to do, or you attend workshops, not in the COVID world though, but you have online workshops or you can do online certifications. Now, do you have a plan for your staff and yourself on that
Yeah,
lines?
yeah. The staff are always doing training and certifications. We
Hmm.
have to keep up to date. I've done a lot of business coaching and a part of some industry groups, sort of worldwide. But we normally meet like on a quarterly basis. We talk
Hmm.
every month. It's all been Zoom at the moment, where it's all IT owners, and we just catch up and we look at best practices and maybe issues that we're seeing or issues we're struggling with in the business, and we all work through them. And that's a constant thing. We're always doing that. And
Hmm.
yeah, my guys they get an extra couple of hours a week to do certifications and things like that.
Hmm.
Um, so we're staying on top of everything.
And I think pushing it back on the services part of yours. Uh, do you do hardware as a service or no?
Um, we can do. We don't get a lot of requests for it. So
Okay,
yeah,
because I think
yeah,
now that the business scenario has changed, you might get those requests also in the coming time, because now a lot of businesses are winding off from the rental premises, and if they have to set up something at home, then they might need a specific hardware which they can run on. So it
yeah.
might
We've
come up
started
as
to
a
see a
new
few
service
more.
line.
Yeah, we've seen starting to get a few more inquiries for it,
Mhm.
but we haven't implemented any just yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything in particular which you want to talk to? Means if you want to address a younger generation who is coming out of schools or colleges, and since you have gone through that cycle and you have achieved something in your life, Do you have something to say to them?
Yeah, just to really think about what they want to do in life and go for that opportunity. Don't settle for second best. Set your goals and break them down into smaller chunks
Mm-hmm.
and work to achieving them. And you can make anything happen if you really want to.
Perfect. That's the same advice for anyone.
Yeah,
Thank you. And I know that you are an early riser, right? And has it helped
yeah,
in one way or the other for your business? Do you use that early morning time to do a lot of things?
yeah. Normally I try to get up at 5 a.m. And mainly that started because I'm getting hours worth of work done before the kids wake up. So, which now that it's getting a little bit warmer, my daughter likes to. She's been getting up a little bit earlier, so that the plan's not working as well as it used to. But
Hmm.
it's certainly a lot quieter. You can set your focus for the day and knock off a few things. Um, yeah, before everyone else is awake.
Perfect. And anything in particular for IT service companies like ours? Uh, so we have been talking about a lot of things which we want to achieve, and obviously I have talked to you on a lot of upcoming initiatives. Is there any particular initiative which you think that you might get into as a new line of business for your end clients? Uh, is there anything specific which you have in mind for the next, say, 6 months or 12 months?
Um, Not so much. We've more recently we've started doing security training with our clients
Hmm.
where we go out on site and we group them together or in multiple groups. We take them out some morning tea and we train them on what to look for on dodgy emails and just some basics like that, some better password management and general training sessions. We're probably going to just keep expanding on that and growing that because everything sort of stops with the end user. So if we train them up, it reduces a lot of risk to the client site.
Okay. Okay. So in terms of setting up storage space, so if a business, again, I'm moving here and there, but those are the questions which are coming to my mind, and coming to the core infrastructure as a service. Uh, do you provide that storage kind of a solution to end clients, or do you give them solutions like AWS or Google Cloud Platform, or is there any offline storage also which you manage for some of your clients?
Yeah, sometimes we'll put a server in at a client site, but very
Okay.
rarely these days. It's all we normally use SharePoint through the Microsoft 365
Okay.
modern workplace setup, but just getting that structured right for
Hmm.
clients. You can turn it on out of the box, but it takes a lot of extra work to make it actually functional and secure. So
Hmm. I
yeah,
like the concept of the technology alignment which you talked of at the start, because that is exactly where you want to start with any of your clients. Because till the time you don't do that, you don't know what's going to happen in future for them
yeah,
as the infrastructure. So I think that's a very good service line which you have for any client of any size for that matter.
yeah. That's a key part of what we do in preventing issues happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my guys' instructions are with the technology alignment role and how they develop it is if they're getting a help desk call in today,
Mm-hmm.
if they had a technician at that client site yesterday, what could that tech have done yesterday to stop that call coming in today? So
Mm-hmm.
that's a system we run. There's a series of, I think it's about 30 pages at the moment of checks that we have dedicated tech that does that, or two
Mm-hmm.
now. And they go out to client sites every month and just work through that checklist. It's very tick and flick, very repetitive, but that's the sort of stuff that stops big issues happening. So it's pretty much scheduled in. The clients know that the next 12 months, which dates they're going to get their visit on. It might be the first Thursday of every month, but it's locked in. It ticks along, and yeah, it works really well.
And do you provide a 24/7 support for your some of your clients, or
Yeah, we have after hours for critical issues
on
there.
call?
Most of our clients, Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Most clients don't really have too many issues after hours. We get the odd one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are there to get them running again if everything stops working.
Okay, interesting. Any challenges which you might want to share with our viewers in that managed services space while you are doing the operational work for your end clients? Are there any specific challenges which you have? It could be,
The main
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
the main challenges we have is finding technicians that have got the right personality.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other challenges we have is getting clients to come on when everything's working okay. They might have a one-man IT guy, just a local IT guy that's sort of looking after everything. Nothing's really, never had any big issues, so they think everything's great. So sometimes just showing them what can happen when things go wrong, and then that one person's spread everywhere, and that's when the service gets let down. But it's hard to explain that when they haven't experienced it.
Yes, yeah, I know what you're saying. In terms of, say, three things which you would want to give as your recommendations to small business, small or medium business, in terms of keeping their network safe, are there any 3 points which you would want to share with them?
Yeah, having good systems in place, but good processes and policies behind the scenes. So technology policies, good structure around what their staff can and can't do.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the big things we've seen a lot lately is people connecting in from home,
Mm-hmm.
but businesses letting their staff use their own personal computers. It's good to work from home, but the companies should be providing a secure laptop for people to work from home, not a shared family computer that the kids are clicking on everything on and watching YouTube or whatever. It just opens them up to opportunities to get in there if they're using a little home computer that's got no security on it. Provide the staff with machines that are locked down, and they can use those just for work. Use a personal computer for personal stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think thanks a ton for all the inputs, Eric. I'm sure we'll be talking again in a larger panel, which will come up in the next month, and I'm inviting you for that too. I will obviously let you know about that and coordinate it with your office so that we can plan it in October, which is an event which is happening in October. I will let you know on that. But thanks a ton for your time. Thanks a ton for your inputs and letting us know about what you can do for companies like ours.
Yeah. No, thanks for having us on.
Thank you. Thanks, Eric. Have a good day and a good
See you.
weekend.
Bye now.
Bye bye.